Chelsea, and I'll also give my prediction to what I think the score will be at the weekend.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome back to another match review. And as you can see, I'm happy. Arsenal have finally got 3 points. Finally. It took us till the end of December, but we got there. Jesus Christ. Chelsea fans, what are you telling me now? What are you telling me now? In my earlier stream, I said to you, Chelsea are not title contenders. They are too inconsistent. Might as well call me Mystic Brandon. What did I say? What did I say? And do you know what? Yeah, we was getting bantered left, right and centre from all fans of all different clubs. And it couldn't have happened to a better bunch of people. Even my man even my man Mikel's having a little laugh at you, yeah? Frank Lampard. Listen, I ain't going to get too gassed with it because, you know me, I'm quite grounded like that. We know that Arsenal could be typical Arsenal. And although we beat Chelsea, we could quite easily go and lose to Brighton next week. And it wouldn't surprise me in the slightest. Anybody who's watched my pre-match starting 11 video, I went absolutely mental when that starting 11 came out. Seeing Hector Bellerin, Granit Xhaka, you know, starting for Arsenal Football Club. And listen, they played all right today, yeah. Xhaka scored a goal today. But they're still not good enough for this football club, yeah. We won today. But Mikel Arteta is still not good enough for this football club, right? So I'm not going to go and get gassed with it, you know, like some other Arsenal fans may well do. But that's up to them. At the end of the day, we are still 15th. Yeah, our season has still been shocking. But it is good to get one over on Chelsea, especially when they're title contenders, you know. Bullshit. Chelsea fans, come and tell me. Come out of your hiding places. Come and tell me what you think. What did you make of the game? What do you make of Frank Lampard? Yeah. Throughout the game, banging in crosses, left, right, and centre. Chelsea were chucking crosses in, and I thought to myself, any moment now they'll bring Giroud on. Any moment now, he's their best player in the air. But what did Fat Frank do? Nothing. He brought on Jorginho. Well done, Fat Frank. Well done. Maybe he was just trying to help us out. Give us 3 points. Give us that little boost, you know. Who knows? Oh, I've got to have a laugh. I have got to have a laugh. Chelsea fans, you say about us being cocky, you need to take a long, hard look at yourselves. And a lot of people want to tell me that Frank Lampard is better than Arteta. He's better than Arteta because he's had £200 million worth of players. Yeah? If Arteta had £200 million worth of players, I'd expect him to be a lot higher than 6th in the table. Yeah? They're both as shit as each other, mate. Both as shit as each other. Don't tell me nothing about Frank Lampard. Our midfield, I thought we're going to get overrun in the midfield here. This is going to be a typical Arsenal thing. I was pleased to see Smith-Rowe starting the side. Not very pleased to see Hector Bellerin in the side, and especially not pleased to see him as captain. And not pleased about Granit Xhaka either. But credit where credit is due. They pulled out a performance today, and Mikel Arteta got it right. You know, I've got to hold my hands up and say, he got it right. But we need to see this consistently now. Yeah, I want to see the same starting 11 that played today against Brighton next week, barring maybe Bellerin and Xhaka, right? And I want to see the same performance. Yeah, Martinelli, outstanding today. Yeah, he epitomises hard work. He is the player that drives this football team forward. Yeah, he don't. He fights for the badge, and it sort of rubs off on the rest of the players. And you know, I've said it before. He's hands down our best player in our full 25-man squad, hands down. And he's only a kid. Emil Smith-Rowe in the 10, excellent. It's amazing, isn't it? What happens when you play a proper number 10? How long have we been saying that for? And this manager's only just worked that out. But there you go. It is what it is. So, with that in mind, firstly, before we get into player ratings, if you are watching and you have not yet subscribed, please go and smash that subscribe button. Smash them likes up as well. I'm a happy Arsenal fan today. It's been months since I've had a little bit of something to cling on to. And here it is. Chelsea in the mud. Oh dear. Oh, I don't know. Right, so player ratings. We're going to start with Bernd Leno. I'm going to give him a 7. And the only reason he gets a 7 for me is because of the penalty save. Now, a lot of people, including myself, would say, well, that penalty, you know, anybody could save that. That penalty was horrendous. And it was horrendous. But if that penalty had gone in, yeah, Chelsea would have been in the ascendancy and they had at least 10 minutes left and probably would have salvaged a draw. The only other thing with Bernd Leno is I don't find that he commands his box very well. You know, crosses were coming in and he'd come out and try and punch them. He looked a bit suspect in that area. But aside from that, he didn't really have a lot to do. Let's be real. So 7 for me today. Moving on to my favourite player, Hecky B. Give him a new contract. No, I'm joking. Don't give him a new contract, for God's sake. 5 today. And a lot of people are going to think I'm probably scapegoating him a little bit, but I'm not, right? When you watch Hector Bellerin play, he's so slow. Yeah, he got caught out of position a few times, and we was lucky not to get punished from that, right? Even when he's tracking back and getting back, he just looks so slow, lethargic, you know? He did all right going forward, but again, he was in a one-on-one situation. Emil Smith-Rowe on the edge of the box. It's a simple 5-yard pass, yeah? And then Smith-Rowe has, you know, he's got a goal, right? And he played it too far in front of him. It's like simple little things like that that make this guy shit. He is one of the worst footballers to ever grace the Premier League, yeah? Let alone Arsenal Football Club. And he needs to go in the summer, yeah? Forget about the fact that he had one decent performance today, yeah? It's one decent-ish performance in, well, I can't remember the last time he had one. So he was due one. You know, he has, like I said, 5 for me, pretty average, and that's about it really. Where is this guy? Rob Holding. Again, he did some good bits, but then there was also a lot of bad bits in there as well. He won a fair few headers. When he was in that one-on-one situation with Timo Werner, he did well to show him on the outside and not let him cut in. But at the same time, he was the one who gave the ball to him in the first place. Yeah. He also got caught out a couple of times. And to be honest with you, he's not good enough. He's not good enough to where Arsenal should be. And again, he had a half decent performance today. Not great, but half decent. But again, when was the last time he was half decent? You know, what? You know. So these players perform one decent game in 10, and that's all of a sudden deemed acceptable. You know what I mean? It's just no. 6 for me. Where is he? Pablo Mari. Again, did a few decent things, but again was very, very sloppy on the ball. Playing out from the back wasn't great. He gave away the penalty as well, which put us under a lot of pressure because of that. Like I said, if that had gone in, Chelsea would have been on the ascendancy. It probably would have got a third goal with 10 minutes to go. At the same time, I like the fact that Kovacic was breaking away, right? And he knew he was not going to make that tackle. But he didn't pull out. He said, no, if I ain't getting the ball, I'm taking you out, sunshine. I ain't letting you by me. You know? Showed a little bit of a footballing brain, so to speak, because he knows if he goes by me, he's in on goal. He's in on goal. You know, and too many of these Arsenal players are too soft. And that is a massive, massive issue at this football club. But again, very average for me, 6. Kieran Tierney was very good going forward. Made some decent overlapping runs. Won us the penalty as well. Again, defensively, you know, I blame him for Mari giving that penalty away in the first place because Tierney was the one who was out of position. So you've got to look at it from two sides and sort of say, yeah, okay, he was good going forward, but you got to do better defensively. Again, I'll probably give him a 6, maybe a 7. I'll probably say a 7 just for winning the penalty. Mohamed El Neni. Today, he weren't too bad. Yeah. He went from Mohamed El sideways to Mohamed El forwards. And listen, when you play the ball forward, you break the lines. It's not difficult to work that out. But again, he's another player who has been performing consistently shit. The last good game that he had was against Liverpool in the Community Shield. You know, he was due a good performance, right? Because these players perform one good game out of 10. Yeah. So he was due a good performance. And we'll probably see a load of shit from him again the next couple of weeks. But yeah, he tried to make forward passes every time rather than going sideways, backwards. There was once or twice where he, you know, was a little bit unsure on the ball. He did sometimes try and go backwards, and he did sometimes when he was trying to go forwards lose the ball, and Chelsea were on the counter attack, and luckily we managed to snuff that out. Otherwise, we'd have been in trouble. So again, you can't give him any more than maybe a 6. Granit Xhaka, wherever you are, there you are. I was fuming to see that this guy was starting in the team. He got sent off the last time he played. He's had a 3-game ban, and our manager just goes, "That's right, mate. You're straight back in the starting 11." Yeah, that pisses me right off, because then these players never ever learn. But with that being said, credit to Mikel Arteta today, because he got it right. Xhaka played all right, but we still see the weaknesses of him. You know, doesn't turn quick enough. He's got the turning circle of a ship. He'll lose his runners. He's not fully aware of what is going on around him, and that happened a couple of times. Screamer of a free kick, absolute screamer of a free kick. But we know Granit Xhaka's got that in his locker. He was spraying passes about pretty well. Probably 7. You know, I can't give him any higher than that. But I don't really think he was any lower than that. Then we move on to Emil Smith-Rowe. It's amazing, isn't it? You play a number 10 in the number 10 role, and you get a link between defence and attack. Who would have known? You know, who would have known that if you play a proper number 10 in a number 10 role, you would actually get a link between defence and attack? You know, it's not like us fans have been calling for it for, well, quite a while now. But again, credit where credit is due. Mikel Arteta picked him. And you saw, mate, the boy was sensational, right? The only thing that was missing from his game is a goal, and that is it, you know? Because apart from that, everything that he did was brilliant. It was brilliant. He looked as though he was fighting for the badge. He was fighting for Arsenal. He was fighting for his starting place in the squad. He was the first man to come off. I don't know whether that's a good thing or a bad thing. I'm hoping it's a good thing, and I'm hoping it's because Mikel Arteta has gone, yeah, you're in the squad for next week. You're in the team for next week. Because he was excellent. He was excellent. And you can't take anything away from that. But again, how long have we been saying this for? And how long has it took this manager to realise? You know, not saying he's the answer, because I do think we need better. But for now, use him. 100% use him. Emil Smith-Rowe for me definitely gets an 8. Nearly a 9. Nearly a 9. My guy, Gabriel Martinelli. What a player we have on our hands. Yeah, I've been saying it for the last few weeks. He is our best player, period. Yeah, best player in the 25-man squad. Hands down. Head and shoulders above everybody else. The guy who he played against Man City, right? It was his first game back. You could see he was about 75% fit, but he ran down everybody. He tried to force Man City into mistakes. He didn't give up. He shows a lot of heart, a lot of fight. Yeah. And he was 70% fit in that game. Today, exceptional, absolutely exceptional. And his attitude and his whole persona and the way he carries himself is what will turn him into a world-class player. He works so hard. Yeah, he works not just on the ball, but off the ball as well. And what a talent we have on our hands. What a talent we have on our hands. And just for the fact that he lifts the entire team every time that he plays, and the fact that he did that again today. 9. The only thing missing from his game today, a bit like Smith Rowe, was a goal. Apart from that, absolutely exceptional. Yeah. Moving on to my man of the match. Everybody's man of the match, no question about it. Another real talent that we have on our hands. We have some brilliant young players, to be fair. And Bukayo Saka is one of them. Even when we've been performing crap, he has been our most consistent player. He's been our man of the match the majority of the games that we've played in, even when we've been crap. And it just goes to show how good this kid is. But he is still a kid, so we've got to be very careful, But again, exceptional today. The goal, did he mean it? Didn't he mean it? I don't know. And to be honest with you, I don't care. Yeah. Everything that was good about Arsenal today came through him. Everything. He had Ben Chilwell on toast. Yeah. Talk about Ben Chilwell being the best left back in the league. Saka had him on toast. Yeah. Ben Chilwell, best left back in the league. You having a laugh, mate? Having a laugh. Where was he today? Where was he? Same for Reece James as well. Even I rate Reece James. Where was he today? Yeah. These kids have got these two players, on toast. They'll be going home tonight and emptying out their pockets. And Martinelli will find Reece James in there. And Saka will find Ben Chilwell 100%. Yeah. Absolutely exceptional. 9. Lacazette. For me, he's still a little bit of a lack of threat, Yes, he scored the penalty today, but apart from that, what did he really do? He didn't really hold the ball up all that well. He made a few nice passes. But apart from that, we didn't really see too much of him, and I just feel like he needs to probably work a little bit harder. But it will be a boost to his confidence, the fact that he scored that goal today. And I do think he should start ahead of Aubameyang in the next game. Keep a winning side. Don't change it now. Keep a winning side, and let's see what they can do. Let's see if they can consistently put performances in there, and start creeping back up that league table with a bit of investment in January as well. Let's see if we can start creeping back up in that league table. I still don't think the manager's good enough. I still don't think Bellerin's good enough. I still don't think Xhaka's good enough. Rob Holding as well. Mohamed El Neni. There's a number of players in this squad that are not good enough. So we need to deal with that in January. Yeah, I don't want to see this board go, oh, do you know what? We need a number 10. But actually, Emil Smith-Rowe's been playing really well, hasn't he? We can save ourselves 20, 30, 40 million pounds and just play him. No. Yeah. So there you go. There's the player ratings. Should I give Arteta a rating? Yeah, I'll give Arteta a rating. 8. 8. He got the squad right. He got the tactics right. Chelsea were very, very poor today. Very poor. But we played pretty well today. We played pretty well. It's a confidence boosting win. Hopefully, we can move on to Brighton next week and do the business again. I mean, if I'm being honest with you, when I was watching the game and I was seeing what was going on, I was a bit like this. I was shocked. I couldn't believe that this was Arsenal. And I couldn't believe what I was seeing from Chelsea as well. It was like, really? Really? I mean, like, am I in a dream or something? But there you go. I'm going to get into a few comments now. We got Red Lucifer. It was a good win. Overall good performance by the young Gunners. Yes. 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 Red Lucifer, as a United fan, I was happy that Chelsea got spanked. Of course you would be, mate. United doing all right, to be fair. I think they was a little bit unlucky against Leicester. But they look half decent. Just waiting for them to start falling apart. But you never know. You never know. It's a weird season. It is a very strange season. And a lot of people seem to be Lampard out now. But there you go. Saka, Kieran Tierney, Emil Smith-Rowe and Martinelli were awesome. Yep, I agree with you. Saka was man of the match all day long. Red Lucifer's ratings here as well. Leno a 7. Hecky B a 5. Holding a 6. Mari a 6. Tierney a 7. Xhaka a 7. El Neni a 6. Smith-Rowe a 7. Martinelli a 7. 7? That's harsh. That is harsh. I'd give Matt, well, you know. Saka at 8. Again, I think that's harsh. And Laka a 7. Matty says, take your time with it. Nah, I'm not that type of fan, mate. You're not gonna see me dancing around and prancing about because we beat Chelsea. I'm very grounded. I know where this football club's at. I know that we can go and do a madness and beat certain teams that we're not expected to beat. But we can also get slapped by teams that we are expected to beat, like Brighton, Burnley, Fulham, these type of teams. And it's where we're at as a football club. And anybody who thinks otherwise is deluded. Glad you beat Chelsea. Yeah. We won 2, EFC. Yeah, it's good to see. It's a strange league this year. It really is. And, like, anything could happen. Anything could happen. Saka was chilling well. Yeah, he was. Chilwell on toast, mate. Like I said, he's going to go home tonight and he's going to have Chilwell in his back pocket. I'm not even joking. But Chelsea fans seem to think best left back in the league. Nowhere near. Nowhere near. Arteta is good enough. It's just the players ain't good enough. I totally disagree. Totally disagree. Some of the decisions that he's made this season show me that he's not good enough. Yeah. Picking players that are consistently letting this team down. You see it today. Imagine if Chelsea had gone on and won that game, say 3 or 4-0. The first thing those fans would be talking about is, why is Hector Bellerin starting? Why is Granit Xhaka starting? And yes, today they had a good performance, but yeah, it's their first good performance all fucking season. Not only that, I just feel like even if he gets the players in, it's his man management that lets him down. You got a player like Bellerin, for example. Now, Bellerin, he wants Bellerin to sign a new contract, right? Bellerin, okay, it's in the Europa League, but Bellerin scored 2 goals in 2 games and created an assist. Yeah, which is more than what Eddie Nketiah has done all season. All season. And I don't expect the guy to start games because he is a young kid. But at least have him on the bench. And once again today, he's left him at home. Left him at home. So I kind of disagree with you there, but that's your opinion, and only time will tell. So we'll see. We need some creativity. We've needed it in the squad for weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks, and we've all been crying out for him to play somebody in a number 10 role, and he's finally done it. And look what happens. We get a result. Amazing, really, isn't it? Afdaling as well, again, says even Klopp and Pep make bad decisions. Yeah, they do. They do. You're right. Every manager makes bad decisions, but what worries me about Arteta is he consistently makes bad decisions. That's the problem. And it's okay making bad decisions at a club like Manchester City or Chelsea. If you recruit a player and it doesn't work out at Manchester City or Chelsea, you just bin him off and go and get another one, because Manchester City and Chelsea can do that. They've got the money to do that. At Arsenal, we haven't got that sort of luxury. Yes, we have money, but if a player doesn't work out and we've spent 60, 70 million pound on him, we're not just going to bin him off and then the following season go out and spend another 60, 70 million pound on a player to replace him, because we're not that kind of club. But there you go. Devin says, hey, Brandon, what a result. Yeah. But like I said before, I'm not going to get too gassed about it all because this is Arsenal at the end of the day. We could quite easily go to Brighton next week and lose, Simple as that. If Arteta had Lampard's squad, he would do a better job, trust me. Yeah, I agree. He probably would. It'd be interesting, if you could sort of swap for a game and see what Lampard could do with Arsenal and what Arteta could do with Chelsea. I do think they're on a similar level, management level. I don't think either of them are good enough, but maybe Arteta would do better with Chelsea's squad. Who knows? Didn't see that coming. Me neither. Like I said, I was sat there watching the game, sort of like watching it, but messing about on my phone a little bit as well, not really paying too much attention. And then I went, what's going on? Arsenal are playing well. What the hell? It's just who knows? Sam says Arteta is not good enough. It's just one game. We could easily lose to Brighton. That's Arsenal. Basically reiterating exactly what I just said here, mate. Arteta is going to give Xhaka a new deal. I fucking hope not. And if he does, then that's a sackable offence in my eyes. Red Lucifer says Arteta as a manager is poor at man management, which is crucial for a big club. 100% agree with you. 100% agree with you. It would not surprise me because it's happened before. If, like we say, Emil Smith-Rowe had a very, very good game today, wouldn't surprise me if he's not playing next week. If he's left on the bench or something like that, because that is the kind of decision that Mikel Arteta does. And we'll probably have Willian back next week, and he'll probably start ahead of him. It's mind-boggling. It really is. Afdalin says, what a goal from Xhaka. Yeah, brilliant goal from Xhaka. We know that he's got that sort of thing in his locker, you know. But at the same time, you know, he doesn't do it consistently enough. And maybe you should take free kicks from now on, if he's playing. I think we still should get a better manager, but today he deserves credit. Yeah, I agree with you. Dalen says, so if Arteta gets sacked, who do you want as new manager? Do you really believe that another manager could do a better job with his squad? 100%, mate. I do. I genuinely do. If Arteta was to get sacked, I'd bring in Rafa Benitez. Yeah. I'd say to him, we're bringing you in on an interim basis, so until the end of the season, but it'll be result dependable. Yeah. So if you get us to, I don't know, say 10th, 9th, 8th, you know, up in that sort of area where we should be, then you can have the job full time, and do it like that. You know, Benitez, he's a manager that people he's very underrated. Benitez, you know, he did well at Liverpool. He won a Champions League. Chelsea had him on an interim basis as well, and he won them the Europa League. I think it was the Europa League anyway, but he won them something. He also has had experience at Real Madrid. And let's not forget, when he was Newcastle manager, he had both of his hands tied behind his back, and he did a very good job with them as well. And you got to think, we've got a better squad than Newcastle. You know, nobody can argue that. We've got a better squad than Newcastle. So he's used to working under owners that do not like spending money. And I do think he could get better out of this squad, 100%. Sam says, I want a manager that picks the right players for games and stops Hector Bellerin and Xhaka, even though they were good today. Basically what I said as well, mate. You know, Sam's just reiterating my points again there. Devin says he should be sacked just for making Bellerin captain. Yeah, I mean, that decision was baffling to me, especially when you got someone like Kieran Tierney, who is a natural leader, 100%. He should be captain for me, but he made the decision. We won the game, and you know, we can't really complain too much today. We won without Abba, yeah. You know, I think as much as it pains me to say, because I love Aubameyang. He's brilliant. I do think he needs this break, this time out of the squad. Will do him some good because he, ever since he came, ever since the beginning of the season. There you go. If we lose to Brighton, what then, Brandon? Then this Chelsea win means nothing. 100%. I agree with you. Brandon, what if we win our next 4 games? Would you back him? Listen, I'll back him as long as he's here, right? But that doesn't mean that I'm going to change my opinion on him, you know, because at the end of the day, Arsenal Football Club should not be sat in 15. Yeah, even if we're in a transitional period where we're, you know, getting rid of players and bringing new players in, we should not be sat in 15th place. You know, it's not good enough. So yeah, of course, if we win our next 4 games, I'll be pleased. But will that change my opinion on him? No, not really. Big up to you, Relentless Schooner. He says Mikel out. He fluked this result. fair enough, fair enough. I think, he fluked it in because he had no choice but to pick the kids. Willian's out, David Luiz is out, Gabriel is out. Aubameyang's just come back from an injury. So he had no choice really but to pick the kids. And the kids performed, So I kind of get where you're coming from. Hopefully we can go on a run of games after this, but I doubt it. Yeah, I agree again. I might go a little bit, my video might go off a minute, but I will be back because I'm just going to invite a guest on. I've got Prime coming on, Chelsea fan. He wants to come on and review the game, and it'd be nice to hear from him and see what he's got to say. Definitely 100%. So just give me 2 seconds, guys. Got it. Clip. There we go, all sorted. The Relentless Schooner says, "Fuck this fan base, so embarrassing." There will be parts of the fan base that will get carried away. Yeah, they do it all the time, and that is why this club is in the position that it's in. Because we got fans that get carried away. Oh, we beat Chelsea. All of a sudden, we're back again. Probably have fans turning around saying, "Oh, we can still get top 4." Yeah, idiots. We just got to keep ourselves grounded. Wait and see what happens over the next couple of games, and hound this board to back Mikel Arteta if he's still going to be their manager. Because without proper backing in January, we're going nowhere fast. Let's just be honest about that. Just waiting for Prime to come on now. I've sent him the link. It'd be nice to get his thoughts on the game as well. Chelsea fan. I want to see what he's got to say about Lampard as well. Lampard, is he better than Arteta? Questionable. I was shocked, not just with Arsenal, but with Chelsea and how they played today. It was for a team that are supposedly going for the league title, and so they should be as well. They've just spent 200 and some odd million pound on players. That was awful today. Devin says, if we had a better manager, we would perform like this every game. I agree to a certain extent, but then I also disagree a little bit, because if we had a better manager, we would pick the correct players week in, week out, which is where I think Mikel Arteta fails. He doesn't pick the correct starting 11 week in, week out for me. So yeah, in that sense, we probably would be performing better. But at the same time, you can't put all the blame on the manager. Some of these players are just not good enough. In fact, I'd go as far as to saying that 60% to 80% of this squad is not good enough. Yeah. I can go through players. Bellerin, not good enough. Just because he did all right today doesn't mean he's good enough. Rob Holding, not good enough. Who else? Granit Xhaka, Mohamed El-Neni, Lacazette. All players that are not good enough, and haven't been good enough for years. Not just under Mikel Arteta, but under Arsene Wenger, Unai Emery, and even Freddie Ljungberg in the short period of time that he was here. So, it's not just the manager. There are massive issues at this football club. But do I think Mikel Arteta is the man to take us forward? No, I don't. No, I don't. And that's just my opinion. Red Lucifer says Chelsea was horrendous from their defence, midfield, and attackers was awful, 100%. Yeah. It was weird actually because I was sitting there at the beginning of the game thinking, Xhaka and El Neni, we're going to get overrun in midfield, and it seemed to be the other way around a little bit. Chelsea seemed to get overrun in midfield big time. Their wing backs were poor today, very, very poor. And like I said, Ben Chilwell, supposedly the best or one of the best left backs in the league, according to Chelsea fans. You're talking rubbish. You're talking rubbish. He's nowhere near. Nowhere near. Red Lucifer, Kante performance was poor this season. Yeah, he had a real bad game today, Kante. I don't know what was going on with him. I thought, Golo Kante, Jesus, But every player's entitled to have one bad game, It happens. Does that mean that Kante is not one of the best defensive midfielders in the world? No, he still is. He's still a top quality player, and he'd walk straight into our team, no question about it. Tierney had Reece James in his pocket. He did until he had that left hand side, Arsenal's left hand side, Chelsea's right hand side on lock until Hudson-Odoi came on. And Hudson-Odoi was causing major problems. And I look back a couple of seasons ago, and Bayern Munich often offered Chelsea, I think it was between 40 and 50 million pounds for Hudson-Odoi. And Chelsea decided to keep hold of this kid. And rightly so as well. He's a quality player. But they don't play him. And I just cannot for the life of me understand why Hudson-Odoi cannot get into this team. You see it when he came on. When he came on, he was causing us all sorts of issues. But there you go. I'm assuming that Prime's not coming on. I have sent him a link to the stream. So I am going to wrap this up, guys. Good to see Arsenal win. Finally. 3 points. Finally. I'm not going to get too gassed with it. At the end of the day, it's Arsenal Football Club. We can beat Chelsea and then we can go lose to Brighton. So, as far as I feel about it, it's a good 3 points. It's an unexpected 3 points. But there are still issues at this football club that need sorting out. In my opinion, the manager's not good enough. Not everybody's opinion, but in my opinion, he's not good enough. And there was 100% players in this squad that is not good enough. And the board as well. They need to put their money where their mouth is. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Like I said at the beginning of the video, please smash that like button up. Yeah, smash it up. And if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. It's very important. 2 more comments. Cheers, Brandon. Cheers, Devin. Cheers, Red Lucifer. I will be back again for another preview at some point. No doubt I'll do another video talking about transfer news or something else. I'm sure we'll think of something. Like I said, cheers for tuning in, guys. I'm out.